Good morning, Keith Tebow with you. Please be joined for our weekly conversation with the mayor of the city of Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan. Mayor, how are you this week?
I'm doing okay, Keith. Good morning.
Yeah, thanks. Let's get right to the COVID-19 and the vaccine distribution. Again, this week, FEMA is hosting some neighborhood vaccination opportunities for people. Again, tomorrow at the Niagara Maplewood Senior Center, and again over the weekend at the Fonseca School. How have those been going? Has it been, more well received as these continue to be ongoing?
Well, I think last week between all three sites, we did somewhere around 600 people. We have the ability to do 600 people a day, so we're trying to get our numbers up. We're being a little more aggressive this weekend with marketing and trying to get more people to go out. It's just a walk-up clinic, so it's very simple for people. I think it's between 10 and 5 at Fonseca. And again, it's something they can go get a vaccine, get on with their life. We have them still popping all around the city. I was at Bristol Community College last night. We had between 3 and 7, we had EMS doing a clinic for about 600 people, second dose clinic. And obviously we did the Cambodian temple the other day, and we're moving around, and we're going to keep moving to try to get as many vaccines out there as we can.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next question in terms of those targeting. You mentioned the Buddhist temple. Are those types of targeting going to continue? And I guess the logistical question is, they may have been like at the temple or a special location, even the ones in the neighborhood, but there has to be follow-up with the second dose of those vaccines. So how long do you expect this to continue?
I expect it to continue well into June, if not longer. When they get a vaccine, they always schedule a second dose so they know when they're going to get it and where they have to be. We're talking about setting up, we worked with one of the local companies yesterday on setting up a trailer or a tent right in Globe Four Corners so we could vaccinate people right there. So we're trying to move around to different areas of the city and get everybody that needs a vaccine or wants a vaccine. And we're going to keep going until we get as many done as possible.
Any thoughts about any drive-up potential? Because I see that a lot in the news.
Right.
I don't know if we have any of those in Fall River.
We haven't settled on that yet. We do think we may do it at the next drive-in we're doing, which will be next month when we show the movie Grease. We may incorporate a vaccine site right there. And again, we're going to start to flyer the people that are going for a COVID test at Bristol Community College, so they know they drive up and get their shots there. So we're working with people, and we'll see how it ends up.
All right. Moving on, yesterday you were at a press conference at the fire department headquarters announcing that the fire department is instituting a safe station program, which will allow people who are seeking help for substance abuse to go to any of the fire stations in Fall River and, no questions asked to be serviced. How important is that for Fall River?
I think it's very important. People have to know they can go to a safe place where people's main concern is caring for them, that we understand that this is a serious, serious disease. They'll go there, they'll get a place to sit down, someone to talk to, and then we'll call in some professionals that can give them the services that they need to get through this disease. I think it's the first one in Massachusetts to do it. Providence has done it, so that's why you saw a captain there yesterday from the Providence Fire Department. I think it's a great idea, and it shows the flexibility our firemen have in working with the city to keep as many residents as possible safe.
So the first line of contact will be fire department personnel, right? EMS, EMT, those type of people?
Yep. No questions asked. Just go there and say, listen, I'm looking to get some help, and they're going to reach out to whoever they can to get the appropriate people there to work with you.
All right, I want to shift briefly to some city business. Hard to believe that we're going to be entering May this weekend. That means the city budget is going to be up. You need to present a budget to the city council sometime by the middle of the month. Just an update on how that's working along. I know we're still looking for information from the federal government on how to use some of the latest stimulus money. So what update can you give us?
Well, we do have a budget, balanced budget that we've built. We are using some of the, I think it's called ARCA money, to build in some of the money we do need for the lost revenue. We use that component because it was specifically listed in the original bill. But again, we were on another call yesterday with MMA and the National League of Cities. I believe the guidance will be out next week, which will give us the roadmap we need to go forward and plan this budget appropriately, and what we can use the money for to give the citizens of Fall River both some relief and hopefully get some good infrastructure projects going in the city. I think it's a win-win-win for the city, but we do need the guidance. And I had a conversation with our congressman the other day, Jake Auchincloss, and he was waiting like everyone else to see specifically how it can be used. But in the budget, we did build in the lost revenue component to balance it, so we'll see how it works.
Yeah, you already know that's a definite in terms of using some of that stimulus money.
Right.
Moving forward, we talked last week about the unfortunate incident where a member of the police department posted something that was inappropriate to the Facebook page of the police department. The chief is looking into it, looking to get some outside reference in terms of an investigation. Do you have any update on that?
No, we are moving in that direction. We're moving in direction of some professional development for all of our officers. It seems cut and dry to the public, but at the same time, we want to know what this officer was thinking and how did he work with other officers. As far as I know, the gentleman had no negative interactions with anybody. But again, if we do it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. If we do something in house, people are going to say it's they're washing it. If we bring someone in from the outside, they're going to say they're wasting money. So we're just trying to find the best way to get the most transparent, truthful answer to the citizen. And we want to know, what was going on and why would anyone think that was the way to go.
Getting back to COVID briefly, the governor this week announced that the state will be reopening a little bit more. The mask mandate will be loosened beginning tomorrow, and beginning May 10th, there'll be more expanded reopenings. What are you hearing from businesses in Fall River on how they hope to continue to build upon getting back to some sort of normal?
Right. I think what you're going to look at is people increasing capacity. I think the way around the disease is getting the vaccine. When we get to that point, I know they have a date in August where they think everything will be back to normal. But before we even get there, we have to get everybody vaccinated. Our businesses, I was in Scotty's last week having dinner with my wife, and there was a full house there. And the people were, sitting down. They didn't have a mask on. When they got up, they were putting it on. So again, as things loosen up, especially like outdoors, I was never a fan of wearing a mask outdoors. I said that when the thing first came about, the first guidelines, and I was like, I don't know about this. We have to let people have a little freedom. And outdoors, from everything I hear, it's pretty safe with COVID, unless you're really packed into a tight area. But if you're taking a walk with your friends or you're playing golf or something, I don't think you have to wear a mask. I never did. But at the same time, we all have to follow the guidelines, and they just keep getting looser and looser. Capacity limits, they're going to allow singing. There's some things we can do that'll benefit the city of Fall River for sure.
Now, last year, of course, when the weather got warmer, there were opportunities for restaurants to, move some of their operations outside. Is that still the plan as we get into warmer months, that local restaurants will be able to expand their service to outdoor dining?
Absolutely. We're looking at whatever we can do to support them. There's some targeted money in that American Rescue Act bill for restaurants. There's also some state money, and we've also had a number of calls and conversations with restaurants, and we will again support them any way we can.
All right. And finally, this week, you touched upon it a little bit in one of your answers earlier. Last week, a very successful first movie night at Durfee High School, and there's plans to have more right through September, and I'm sure it was a good that we had great weather last Saturday, and hopefully we can continue that trend, right?
Yeah, that's obviously the key, Keith. As long as we have good weather, I think next up is the movie Grease. I think we're going to have a car show with it. We're going to have we're still talking about maybe a 50s costume contest and some things we can do to get the public involved and have a fun night out, especially as things loosen up. We had a great night last last week with the Secret Life of Pets. It was nice to see all the kids out with their parents and enjoying a movie and getting some popcorn. And we had the alpacas there. They were taking pictures with the alpacas, and it was a good night. And those are the things we need in Fall River. Good family fun where we give them some different ways to stay safe.
And of course, there's opportunities throughout the summer to maybe move some of those away from Durfee to some of the parks to allow people maybe to bring blankets and that kind of thing. So that's it's good to hear, and it's good to see that people are taking advantage of it. And that's what it's all about as we continue to deal with this, right?
We have a meeting this morning with a local bank that wants to get involved, and again, we'll get maybe a little smaller screen for people sitting on the grass in front of it and show a movie. The conversation just was spinning around, maybe like having a war movie down at like the Iwo Jima or Vietnam War Memorial one night. Again, as things loosen up, and one down at the in the south end at either Kennedy or Abbott Court. Again, a little smaller screen, but you'll be right on top of it with blankets and things. But we want to move it around and see what we can do. People seem to enjoy them, so we'll keep going with it.
All right, Mayor Coogan, as always, thank you. Have a great weekend. We'll talk next week. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Keith.
All right. And thank you for joining us again on FRC Media. Have a great rest of your Thursday.